Hello and welcome to the daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings, with your host Ram. It's a sensational cricket show today, and the reason that it is the daily show is sensational is to the fact that a power play record in T20 cricket was set up yesterday by in the Caribbean Premier League, where Evin Lewis, this was a match which was being played between the Barbados Tridents, who required a margin of 220 runs for victory. In fact, to qualify for the semi-finals, but one can say that Evin Lewis and Chris Gale, but Chris Gale was just a spectator. In fact, the Barbados Tridents made 128 for 9 batting first, and it was Evin Lewis who blitzed an unbeaten 97 of just 32 deliveries, 6 fours and 11 sixes to break the record in all T20 cricket. Just to go back to the records here, I would like to share that as far as local cricket is concerned, local in the sense IPL, there are a lot of leagues which are happening, T20. So in that, the record stood in the name of Chennai Super Kings in the IPL, when in 6 overs they rammed 100 runs. The score was 100 for 2 in 6 overs against the Kings 11 Punjab at the Wankhede Stadium. So that was one record. As far as international record was concerned, it stands in the name of Netherlands. An unlikely thing, but Netherlands were the ones who actually made 91 runs in the first 6 overs. But let me tell you, Evin Lewis and Chris Gale, Evin Lewis in particular, I have to really mention about this bloke, and I think he is pure dynamite. He blitzed. The fastest half century in CPL 2017. Also in CPL history, he was doing a La Gale here. Evin Lewis not out 97 of 32 deliveries, 6 fours and 11 sixes. He made that. The total of Barbados Tridents, which was 128 for 9, was absolutely blown out of the window. What a bout of hitting. Evin Lewis also equaled the record in fact, first one has to say that Evin Lewis and Chris Gale put on 105 runs in 6 overs in the T20 power play overs, and this is the new record as far as international cricket is concerned. Evin Lewis and Chris Gale for the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, blazing. I would say Evin Lewis was firing on all cylinders. What a player this bloke is. Lofted strokes, drives, you name it, and he had everything. And there was absolute power in his strokes. It was all power packed as he slammed an unbeaten 97. He got the fastest 50 in CPL history of just 19 deliveries, and he slammed an unbeaten 97 of just 32 deliveries, 6 fours and 11 sixes, 11 sixes equaling the record of his opening partner, Chris Gale, who had hit 11 sixes. So Evin Lewis, according to me, is another Gale who is emerging. I'm sure Evin Lewis is another Chris Gale coming in from the West Indies. What a player, Evin Lewis. He really sparked. There were sparklers flying all over the ground when Evin Lewis was batting. What a bout of hitting from Evin Lewis. Take a bow, Evin Lewis. And he's definitely a hero, no doubt about it. Chris Gale, who normally is a very aggressive bloke, was a mere spectator in an unbeaten knock of 22 of 14 deliveries, 3 fours and 1 6. 6 overs, 105 runs is the new record as far as T20 power play overs are concerned. As you know, 6 overs constitute the T20 power play, and in 6 overs, Evin Lewis and Chris Gale smashed 129 runs. I'll revisit that later. In the meanwhile, I wanted to first cover on this because I wanted to talk about this world record which is set in T20 power play. And this is the best one according to me, because Chennai Super Kings in the IPL league, they made 100 for 2, but as far as St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots were concerned, they had a 10-wicket victory, so 105 runs for no loss, and this is a stupendous record, and this is going to take a long time for someone to beat it. What a bout of hitting from Evin Lewis, this youngster. He's very short, but one does not know how he actually generates immense power out of his batting here. Wonderful to watch. Okay, so we'll come back to revisit that later. So in the meanwhile, what I'm going to look at now, we are going to see the Bangladesh versus Australia, the second test match, where both the team, Bangladesh definitely finished on a decent situation at 253 for 6 in the second test on the first day at Chittagong, which I'm going to talk about. And also the T20 team for Sri Lanka has been announced, which is the last fixture before India leave the shores of the island. So let's start off with the Bangladesh versus Australia match, and this was the second test match which was played, and it all started with both the teams actually deciding to actually strengthen their spin department and minus a pace bowler. As far as Bangladesh were concerned, they decided to have only Mustafizur Rahman as the pace bowler, while as Australia decided to have only Patrick Cummins as the pace bowler. And as far as Australia were concerned, they had Hilton Cartwright coming into the team, and the spin was strengthened by Steve O'Keefe, the left-arm spinner. Then Lyon really made it count with a wonderful spell, his third successive 5-wicket haul in Test cricket. He also went past Jason Gillespie's mark of 269 wickets, I reckon, and Nathan Lyon picked up a 5-wicket bag, and Nathan Lyon was the man. And so let's have a look as to what happened. So it was a good toss to win, I thought, for Bangladesh. Bangladesh won the toss, and now they once again made sure that the Aussies would be caught on a turning track here, if at all the Chittagong pitch continues to take turn. So Tamim Iqbal and Soumya Sarkar walked out to open the innings, and after one over from Patrick Cummins, as I said, there was Hilton Cartwright was not given the ball, even though he's a medium pacer. In fact, the ball was tossed to Nathan Lyon, the red-arm off spinner, and Nathan Lyon, the red-arm off spinner, did not waste any time, getting Tamim Iqbal LBW pretty quickly. He was LBW bowled Nathan Lyon for 9, so that was wicket number 1 for the Bangladeshis. So a very quick breakthrough was provided by the Aussie off spinner Nathan Lyon. And Nathan Lyon definitely sussed up the pitch. He saw that there was not much turn available. It was all a matter of bowling in the good areas, and that's what precisely did. He forced Imrul Case to actually play down the wrong line. He was gone LBW bowl Lyon for 4. In fact, Lyon also had a record where he took all the 4 wickets, the first 4 wickets to fall, all LBW. So that really made things tough. With 2 wickets down, Bangladesh were 21 for 2 at that stage. Soumya Sarkar was on the stage. Soumya Sarkar was playing some good strokes, and he was kept company by Mominul Haq. So both decided to slowly bide their time and just try to repair the damage in a very, very brief manner, though, as it was a 49 runs partnership that started between Soumya Sarkar and Mominul Haq. Soumya Sarkar, as you know, he likes to play stuff, but today he was a bit cautious, which was good to see. And Mominul Haq, as you know, he's also a very good player. He just played around with Soumya Sarkar as the partnership realized 49 runs. And once again, Nathan Lyon came in and picked up. Soumya Sarkar was taken on the sweep shot. He tried to sweep a delivery and he was gone LBW bowl Lyon for 33 with 2 4s and 1 6. And the next to go, the LBW victim, was Mominul Haq, LBW bowl Nathan Lyon for 31 with 2 boundaries. And as I said, Nathan Lyon became the first bowler in the history of Test cricket to have taken 4 victims on the trot, 4 victims, and that too all LBW. So now we had 2 new batsmen at the crease after Nathan Lyon's strikes were done, Shakib Al Hasan and Mushfiq Rahim. Well, one did not see that the pitch was showing any signs of turn or something, but definitely the pitch was really, I thought both the teams had made the right decision of actually going with one pace bowler. But I have a feeling that in test matches, for every team, they should have at least 2 people actually sharing the new cherry. So I was a bit surprised that Hilton Cartwright was not given the second over. Nevertheless, Nathan Lyon definitely made it count. There's no doubt about it. Shakib Al Hasan and Mushfiq Rahim, 2 experienced batsmen in the middle, slowly were wending their way. They were trying to resurrect things with a partnership, but they could not go as much as Shakib Al Hasan was the next victim. as he was caught behind by Matthew Wade behind the stumps with a beautiful delivery from Ashton Agar, which turned away. He was gone for 24 with 3 boundaries. Mushfiqur Rahim was there, and the captain was joined in by Sabbir Rahman. So Mushfiqur, and this was the partnership that really helped Bangladesh. They were really struggling at one stage at 117 for 5, and then a very good partnership ensued for the 5th wicket between the captain Mushfiqur Rahim and Sabbir Rahman. Sabbir Rahman decided to play his strokes in the way that he normally does, and that is to loft the deliveries and start playing in an aggressive fashion, whereas Mushfiqur Rahim understood the value of what he was going through, and he knew that he was the one who had to nurture this Bangladesh innings. He really put the shutters down and really started playing the ball according to the merit, as Mushfiqur Rahim and Sabbir Rahman realized 105 runs. So that was a good partnership which really enabled the Bangladeshis to recover from 117 for 5 to 222 towards close of play. But Sabbir Rahman was doing a good job at that time. This was the 5th wicket for Nathan Lyon, when Sabbir Rahman actually wanted to pull a delivery, but in the process actually he had his leg outside the crease, and Matthew Wade came with a very swift stumping. So Sabbir Rahman was gone for 66 with 6 fours and 1 6. A wonderful hand, I thought. And towards close of play, Nasir Hussain was there, not out on 19 with 3 boundaries. Mushfiqur Rahim was not out on 62 with 5 boundaries, as Bangladesh definitely recovered in a big manner thanks to Sabbir Rahman and Mushfiqur Rahim, as they closed at 253 for 6 on the first day of the 2nd test here at Chittagong at the Zahoor Ahmed Chowdhury Stadium. As far as the bowling was concerned from the Aussies, Cummins 17 overs 4 minutes, none for 33. Nathan Lyon, what a wonderful spell of bowling. His 3rd consecutive 5-wicket haul in Test cricket. 28 overs, 6 maidens, 77 runs, and he picked up 5 wickets. Tremendous bowling spell from Nathan Lyon under not very helpful conditions, one would reckon. Steve O'Keefe 20 overs, no maiden, none for 70. Ashton Agar 17 overs, 6 minutes, 1 for 46. Glenn Maxwell 3 overs for 6 runs, and Hilton Cartwright bowled 5 overs, 1 maiden, none for 16. So definitely there's not much turn right now. I mean, being the first day, it's too early to fall, but one has to very clearly remember that the Aussies are the ones who are going to bat last on this pitch. So it will be interesting to see how the pitch behaves on the 2nd day. But definitely it was, I thought Bangladesh recovery was very good here. So definitely they will be eyeing something in the region of 300 350 hopefully. Well, so from here I'm going to that match which really was really, I would say, setting the stadium alight. Evin Lewis, what a player. I mean, Chris Gayle, almost, I would say, Chris Gayle is almost coming on to the verge of his retirement probably. Probably one more World Cup and Chris Gayle might not be seen probably. But I think this bloke, Evin Lewis, is definitely going to be taking the place of Chris Gayle. There's no doubt about it, the way he has played. And let me tell you, this bloke, who is so short in stature, one does not know where from he actually generates the power to hit the ball in such a mighty manner. I mean, what power! He packs absolute power in his veins when he hits the ball. And as I said, it was a match which was played, it was a world record which was set as far as power play overs were concerned when Evin Lewis, first let me just talk about in a brief manner, let's talk about the match. This match was played in the Caribbean Premier League, and was played at the Bridgetown in Barbados, at the Barbados Tridents home ground, but they were the ones who were under the weather yesterday with Evin Lewis bat, I would say. Barbados Tridents 128 for 9. They really struggled. In fact, Dwayne Smith made 17 of 15 3-4s. Nicholas Pooran 21 of 16 3-4s 1-6. Webster did a fine job. He was the highest scorer. 32 of 25 Dulwich 2-4s 1-6. Williamson once again failing in the CPL, not having a good CPL at all. He was gone for 14. Morgan failed with the bat as well. Bowled by Nabi for 2. Shamar Springer was out for 3. Pollard, the captain, was out for 7. of 9 balls. Wiggins went left for 3. Parnell was not on 13. Jacobs 8. Wahab Riaz not out, not the bowling. As far as the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots were concerned, Ifenos 3 overs 34 runs. Cottrell 3 overs none for 16, the man who actually does the salute as an army. Mohammad Hafiz 3 overs 1 for 24, but Brathwaite did a fine turn for himself, as he was the man who was mostly responsible for the Barbados Tridents actually being kept to 128 for 9. When he returned analysis of 4 overs, no maiden, 15 runs and 4 wickets. Mohammad Nabi 3 overs 1 for 23, and Tabraj Shamsi did a fine job, 4 overs, no maiden, 2 for 14. But after that, the fireworks started. Evin Lewis and Chris Gayle, especially Evin Lewis. Look, let's have a look at the damage that he did to all the Barbados Tridents bowlers. The Barbados Tridents were absolutely blown away. I mean, 128 for 9 was looking like a piece of cake. Wahab Riaz, his 2 overs went for 27. Wayne Parnell bowled only a solitary over, which was smashed for 18. Dwayne Smith bowled 1 over, went for 13. Wiggins was slammed for 24 in his over that he bowled. Tyrone Pollard 1 over was crashed for 24. Jacobs bowled 1 over, which was smashed for 23. And everything, almost all the bowlers who actually suffered at the blade of Evin Lewis. What a knock from Evin Lewis. I mean, look, again I'm telling you, this bloke is so short. He was playing like Chris Gayle, who was at the opposite end. Chris Gayle, the opening partner, and Evin Lewis was simply pure dynamite, I would say. The way he played, really took the breath away. He was absolutely toying with the bowling. He had all the time in the world to actually adjust his stroke and put the ball wherever he wants, and many of the balls actually sailed out of the stadium. It was some real power hitting. What a knock from Evin Lewis. The power play overs yielding, 128 was looking like a sitting duck, as the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots won the match in the 7th over. And the only problem was that one really felt sorry for Evin Lewis, who was batting on 97, and he just required another boundary to go to the fastest century in CPL, and he missed that, unfortunately, as Kieron Pollard bowled a no ball, and thus the match came to an end. I really feel sorry for Evin Lewis. Truly deserved a century. What a knock, a smashing knock of unbeaten 97 of just 32 deliveries, 6 fours and 11 sixes. 11 sixes actually, equaling the record for the highest number of sixes hit in a T20, and that was Chris Gayle, who holds his opening partner, who was at the other end. And I'm sure Chris Gayle would have been mighty pleased to see this youngster absolutely ram the Barbados Tridents bowlers. And also, Chris Gayle was looking like a mere spectator. 22 of just 14 deliveries, 3 fours and 1 6. So Evin Lewis smashing the fastest half century in CPL history. 50 of just 19 deliveries, and then really missing that coveted mark of the century, unfortunately, as he also equaled the 11 sixes mark, and then broke the world record by realizing 105 runs for the first wicket. An unbeaten one at that, 105 for no loss in 6 overs, St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. And in the 7th over, it was all over as 24 runs were taken and the match was brought to a swift end. Evin Lewis, take a bow. Evin Lewis requires a salute, and this was something which is a very rare in cricket. When I've seen this from the Chris Gayle's blade, but Evin Lewis, I would say, one wonderful hitter for West Indies has arrived in the form of Evin Lewis, this youngster. Now, the other news that I would like to talk about very quickly, probably a real skimmer, I would say, as the ODI series is done and dusted. Now, there is only one T20 that they're going to play, and then India would be returning back to India after a successful series. So, Sri Lanka gets one last opportunity to at least win one match in their entire tour, and if at all they lose the T20, that would be very humiliating for the Sri Lankans. There is no doubt about it. So just wanting to say that Jeffrey Van der Sey has been selected. Dasun Shanaka has been included. As you know, he's a big hitter of the ball. Jeffrey Van der Sey is the person who actually is a right-arm leg spinner. And other than that, I'm just looking if at all I can cover any other cricket news very quickly here. As far as cricket news is concerned, I can say Star India has, as you know, IPL for the IPL rights for 2018 has been won by Star India as far as the IPL rights are concerned. Upul Taranga, who did not fare very well in the one-day international series against India, barring one particular match that was yesterday. Other than that, Upul Taranga has decided that he's going to break from Test cricket for 6 months to reinvigorate himself. And Ben Dunk, as you know, is a very good player, and he had a wonderful Big Bash League in the year 2016, I reckon. And he is the one who actually has shifted his allegiance from Adelaide Strikers, and he'll be joining the Melbourne Stars. Well, that really brings an end to this cricket show of mine today, dear fan subscribers. It was all about, I would say this was an Evin Lewis cricket show. What a power hitter this young bloke is. Evin Lewis is such an exciting cricketer, and one can't wait to watch Evin Lewis once again with the bat. Thanks for your company and thanks for watching Cricket Happenings. This is your host Ram signing off.